Only if I poke at it and touch it though, so I just don't do that.
What you want?
What's up, YouTube? FatKings Phil coming at you for my week 367 update from vertical sleeve gastrectomy, which I had back in July of 2013. Details are below. This is also my plastics update, which I had last Monday, Tuesday, so a week ago, which was what was that? I don't even know the damn date. Look down there. They're just down there somewhere. So, it's been a week. Let's just get straight to the numbers because I found them rather interesting. This morning I weighed in at 225.6, which is like from what I weighed last week, which I didn't report into you guys. I was up to like 230 let's say call it 230.6. It was 6 or 4. I can't remember which. So basically 5 pounds, loss in a week. And that's not to be surprised in any way because they took 5 pounds of skin and almost a liter of fat, which when I did the math conversion was another 2 pounds. So they said almost 7 pounds. So they're right. Imagine that. They know what they're talking about. That happened Tuesday morning. I had a really tough time with getting the IV in. That did not go well for me. I don't do well with needles and things like that. So I felt bad for the poor. They brought the charger nurse out because she's like, she's the best one at it. Let's let her do it. I said, okay, that's cool. So she came and did it. And wow, I felt bad for her because even she was like, oh my God, I feel so bad. I was like getting the stars and the whole bit. Veins were collapsing. It was all kinds of good times. But we got it. Got all taken care of. They actually ended up doing it on the other arm. It's never a blood draw or a thing with me unless I have to use both arms. And they tried twice on one. They hooked me up. I pretty much had to be there by myself because of, the vid. My son dropped me off. They said, hey, we'll call you when he's ready. Took me in. Once we get the IV in there, I was all gowned up at that point. So I walked into the operating room and for nostalgia's sake, I made the Seymour Heine joke about the gown being a designer gown by Seymour Heine. And because I did that in my VSG, figured that served me well when everybody laughed. So they laughed and okay, cool. And they said, I should say, okay, we'll get you up on the table. Can you walk in here? I walked in, I jump up on the table and they're like, okay, well, I'm going to give you something just to kick you off and then get you started and I'll give you a little bump and then we'll go from there. I said, sounds good. And that's the last thing I remember. I don't remember anything after that. I remember waking up in the next room and them asking me if I wanted coffee. And I thought, that is the dumbest thing you could offer somebody who just had surgery. And I'm like, no, actually, that sounds pretty good. Because they had a hard time intubating me. And my jaw is still really sore. They had a really hard time getting me intubated, I guess, as well. Lucky me. So my jaw is freaking killing me all through here. Right back here where it hinges. So on both sides. Mainly more so on this side, though. So that hurts. Right? So... time's a little fuzzy, but I remember after I woke up, my son came and picked me up. I remember hearing them call him, but I was still like enjoying my coffee and doing my thing. When he got there, they got me up. I think at that point they had already slipped me back into my clothes, and I was out the door. So pretty much just wore a pair of pajama pants and a zip up hoodie to get there. They put me in a binder before they took me out, gave me some instructions and away I went. So got home, hung out. I was pretty lucid. The drive home was a little rough for bumps and stuff. Not bad though. Got into the medical recliner, kind of chilled, talked to my kids because they were both there. They both came to get me. And we hung out for a while and then I started getting a little tired and so I took a nap and that was pretty much woke up. Started taking my medication on schedule. And so that went pretty well. And then the rest of the week was just Netflix and don't do anything. So, but I was getting up and, walking around. The medical recliner was a win. So definitely do that. What they do not tell you is you will bruise and you will bruise. Well, they tell you bruise, but they don't tell you that the bruising will travel south down your body and end up in areas that you would not expect to see black and blue or swollen like that. So, important to know. And as a man, and ladies, you may, I'm sure that you have your own challenges and you guys talk about this way more, but since a lot of guys who have had the surgery haven't talked about it, swelling in that area and forcing things together in there and not holding them in place and having them bounce around and knock around really is uncomfortable. I mean, it is just every time you move, it's like some kind of low grade pain of things bumping together or knocking together or whatever. As soon as I could get into my boxer briefs, keep things in place, even swollen as they were, much better. That was a big move to get into something a little bit with a little bit more support. I'm sure it's quite the same for you ladies, but in different ways. But gentlemen, be warned. Yeah, and things are still pretty black and blue, even a week out. So I am convinced that narcotics do not work on me. I was off the narcotics I think I stopped them Saturday morning. I was consulting with other folks who've had the surgery and they said, hey, you could probably start rotating Tylenol in instead of the narcotic, just about every other time you use Tylenol. I said, sounds great. So I did that. And then I got the next pain pill period. I was like, I don't feel bad. Let me try Tylenol again. And I just never went back to the pain pills. The only thing I did keep taking was obviously I had to keep taking the antibiotics, and I took a probiotic with that every time. So that seemed to keep my stomach pretty solid. Yeah, didn't have my first bowel movement till, I know everybody's dying to know about this, but about 4 days in, I was getting to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna have to take something more than these stool softeners. I would say start the stool softeners 2 days ahead of time. It's not going to make you super loose or anything. It was my concern was if I started them early, I'd, have stomach issues going into surgery. But no, they didn't have that effect at all. And then, the narcotics just sap in your system water. I was drinking a gallon a day, easy. I would drink to the point where I probably pulled too many electrolytes out of my system. So I started rotating in a lot of vitamin waters, zeros, and just trying to kind of keep that balance up. So that all seemed to work pretty well. A couple nights I did have headaches from just too much water, just pulling too many electrolytes out. But slept in the recliner pretty much up until last night, and I was going to sleep in it last night as well, because I was planning on going back to partial work days today. And I couldn't get to sleep. I could not fall asleep. So I finally said, screw it, let's try to sleep in the bed. And it's going to be uncomfortable, but if I get a couple hours sleep in the bed, maybe I start getting used to it. And it was a little tough, I'm not going to lie, laying totally flat. This binder is like a friggin' being squeezed by an anaconda all the time, which I'm not going to show you guys anything. I'm still pretty swollen. So, but the binder comes like right at my sternum all the way down to like pretty much where my hips are. And just sitting down, that binder just presses into your hips all day. And then even recline, you just feel like you're just being squeezed. But I want to get the best results, so I'm going to wear the damn thing for the next few weeks. Until you get your drains out, you're kind of at the mercy of the drains. The drains suck. They did take my drains out yesterday and, put gauze over the holes and a little bit of antibiotic ointment on them, and that's it. But after that, after it healed up overnight, I was able to put my t-shirt and my underwear under the binder. And that has made a world of difference on my skin. So the binder's not pulling and tearing at the skin. And if you're a man, body hair, it's not pulling the hairs. It's not. So it's better. It's not great. It's better. The itching has kicked in full speed. So the wound's itchy. So it's kind of hard to not want to scratch it. My hydration is through the roof today. 58.7%. That's the highest I've ever seen it ever in my recorded log. But my body fat's down to 24.1%, as you can see, and my muscle mass is at 34.1%. So that loose skin was holding a lot of quote unquote fat weight. In other words, that was reading as fat, body fat. And if it had just been water, then I think my hydration would have been higher. So there's going to be something there. Neither here nor there now. We've moved the needle. So 5 free pounds and 7 really once the water I think comes out. 5 free pounds of weight loss, and body fat percentage has dropped almost a whole percent. So that's pretty great. Yeah. So next 5 weeks, I just gotta keep the binder on and do what I'm supposed to do, and try and live normal life. Start walking more. Can't really work out till after 6 weeks. Although he did kind of green light me to do. He said, if you can isolate your upper body and do no stress on your stomach or abdomen, if you can isolate your biceps, if you can isolate your triceps completely, he's like, I don't have any problem with you doing light weights. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Nice. That's what I was hoping to hear. I mean, I didn't expect it. That's kind of a bonus, but yeah, so I'll take it. We'll see when I work that in. Look, I'm not feeling strong enough for, like energy wise. Today's the first full day I've been awake all day, and I didn't sleep much last night. So about 5 o'clock, it hit me. I was like, oh crap, I'm tired, but I can't go to bed right now. I got to wait till later so I get a full night's sleep. I think I might take a Benadryl tonight to help with the sleeping. My throat's still screwed up, as you can probably hear from the intubation. It doesn't help with coughing. Abdomen sewed up, coughing bad. The first couple of days where I had to cough, it felt like I was being stabbed in my lower abdomen, like straight up stabbed. It hurt bad, to where I feared coughing. Like I'd go in the other room and I'd get ready for it and I'd hug the pillow and, oh God, so bad. So yeah, there's no joke. If, my VSG, I was up walking around by 4 o'clock. Next day I was pretty good. I was off the pain pills by the 4th day. I tried to go shopping with my kids on that 5th day. That was stupid. I did overdo it there, but I was able to drive and do all those things. No problem. I went and tried to get in my truck today to see if I could. Not that I was intending to go anywhere. My son was driving me over somewhere, but I'm like, let me just see if I can get in the truck. It was, I would not want to drive. Let's put it that way. I'm not ready to drive yet. So that'll be another week for that. And then, walking, I wouldn't go take a long walk right now. I was walking, around the block 2-3 times a day after VSG. No, I'm not there yet. All right, guys, this video is going long and it's not really exciting. So, I will have pictures of the actual, I actually got pictures during the surgery, coming to me. I won't share those. They're pretty graphic. But I'll be making that. I collected all that skin and stuff, the skin and the lipo. I got it yesterday, and I'm going to be making FatKingsTV candles, FatKingsTV soap, FatKingsTV wallets. So, Christmas is only 7 months away. I'm technically 6, but, we're just started June. So you get in now while the prices are low, and you can give the gift of just, reminds people of FatKingsTV. I know that joke's morbid, but I've been laughing about it every time I think about it. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Until next time, remember, it's good to be the king.